Howdy folks, AJ coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. And this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about a TV show. I'm not going to really talk about gaming in this video. Haven't been doing anything out of the ordinary gaming-wise. Dealing with some real-life stuff and all that. So as a result, I decided to make this video tonight about The Walking Dead. And I know that it's, if not the most popular, it's one of the most popular shows on TV. So you can say, well, you're just jumping on the bandwagon, whatever. Hey, all fair game. Just leave the comments below. But what I wanted to talk about was the reason that I felt inspired to talk about that show is I have never had a television show affect me the way that The Walking Dead does. And when I say that, what I mean is I tend to yell at the TV. I get so involved in the show. And I don't know if that's the gamer in me. So there is a little bit of a gaming parallel here. I don't know if that's the gamer in me because I don't necessarily maybe agree with what the particular character is doing on screen or whatever, as opposed to what I would do. Or it's the fact that I was a soldier in the Army. I went through anti-terrorist driving school. I was in security for 15 years, contract security for 15 years. I went through all kinds of specialized training and so forth. I was involved in a workplace in a workplace shooting that happened where I worked. I've been through a couple of major earthquakes. We had a major fire where I worked at Universal Studios. So we had the Rodney King riots in Los Angeles that I was in security for that, and so that was there was a lot of preparation and training that went along with how to deal with that type of stuff. And so maybe it's that that I have been conditioned for 20 plus years from my military training, security training, disaster preparedness. I was on the disaster preparedness team for Universal Studios, so maybe it's all that. Excuse me. I went through community emergency response training through the fire department, so maybe it is the fact that I feel like when I'm watching the show that I'm critiquing every little thing that the characters do based upon how I would do it, given my training and preparedness that I've gone through and all that. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the fact that it's something where any one of us could put ourselves in that situation, that something of that magnitude, a natural or an unnatural event that could put us into civic disorder, and how would you react? What would you do? And all these, most shows that we watch, you're just rooting, especially if there's some conflict involved, you're rooting for the primary characters and so forth. You're just rooting for them to get to help. The difference here is there is no help. The characters in the show, they're it. I mean, there is no police, there is no military, there is no fire department, there's nothing. So maybe that's it, that regard whatever it is, and maybe I'm not giving enough credit to the writers and the actors, and I mean they're obviously all phenomenal, but there's just something about the show that's just different. I mean, there's been other shows that have been, where you tune in every week, you never miss an episode. I remember when The West Wing was really big. I mean, The West Wing was the show. Everybody was watching The West Wing, and it was it was must-see TV. I mean, it had you riveted and everything. But you didn't catch yourself saying, "Oh, I would have done this. I would have done." No, you didn't. You just watched it to see what would happen. You didn't. You didn't scream and say, "Son of a bitch! What the hell are you doing?" Yeah, I mean, you didn't. You didn't get into it like that, you know. And with The Walking Dead, you do. So whatever. Maybe it's a combination of all the things that I've just talked about. I don't know. I'd like to see, you know, your comments on it. If you have the same type of reaction, if you think, you know, there's obviously something that has hooked all of us that watch it, you know, which is a huge audience now. There's obviously something that's hooking us and making us, you know, I mean, it's to the point now where it's a habit type thing where we have to tune in every Sunday night when there's a new episode. I mean, we just don't miss it, you know, or everybody's DVRing it and they're you know, it's the very second that they get free, they watch it on their DVR, you know. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today was you know, how good that show is. So you can say I'm just jumping on the bandwagon, whatever. I don't really care. But leave your comments below regardless. And on the next video, we'll get back to talking about some gaming stuff. So until then, we will catch you guys on the flip side.